Canvas dashboard can get crowded because you can see the invite, as you can see, like in the top. I don't know if you can see my mouse. I tried to make my mouse a little bigger, but it didn't work. It didn't came through Zoom. So on top of your dashboard, you will see the invites that you have from the courses that you're enrolled in, and also you will see the announcements. You might have endless number of announcements in your dashboard, and I will show you how you can dismiss your announcements, which are the announcements which are sent. So the announcements which are sent through the institution, they will land on top of your dashboard. And also all your courses will appear in your dashboard as well. And I will show you how you can manage and organize your dashboard so it will not get crowded by course invitations and global announcements and the courses that you're enrolled in. Okay. And by default, the dashboard is set to the card view. The view that you have in this slide is the card views option, but we also have the list and recent activity views available for us in language state. You also have the option of favoriting or pinning your courses. I will go over the pinning feature or option in a few minutes. On the right side of your Canvas screen, you will see the sidebar menu. Let me actually switch to let me get to my dashboard actually. Here's my dashboard. As I mentioned, I don't have any course invitations, but if you have any course invitations waiting for you to accept the invitation, you will have the invitation on top of your screen, and it will be followed by the announcements. And I have seen, like when I'm working with faculty, I have seen endless number of announcements. So please feel free to dismiss your announcement by clicking on this X, which is located on the right side of the screen. I don't know if you can see my cursor. So this is, for example, for the Canvas Bootcamp starts August 1st announcement. On the right side, you see an X. If I click on this X, this announcement will be dismissed. And you can always visit your dismissed global announcements by clicking on the account. And I will go over that feature in a few minutes once I'm done going over the dashboard. As I mentioned, all your courses with the course activities do appear in your dashboard. For example, in this development for online course, you can see that there is one discussion, and you can, if there are if students in your current courses, when students submit their assignments, you can see that how many assignments have been submitted, how many announcements have been released or available for you. So all those activities can be seen in each of your courses. Your dashboard might not look like this, neat and clean, and I will walk you through the steps of how you can make your dashboard clean. So feel free, if you want to walk with me, you can have your dashboard open and you can walk with me, or if you decide to just watch, you can watch and you can go over these steps on your own. As I mentioned, on the sidebar, which is located on the right side of your dashboard, you have the to-do list. Again, you have the option to dismiss any of these to-do, like the to-do list features. You can, by clicking on the X, you can just dismiss the to-do that you have. It's followed by the upcoming events, which appear like these are the events which will be on your Canvas calendar. They appear under the upcoming events on the right side of your screen, and that's followed by the recent feedback feature. Okay. So I want to make sure that I cover everything. In your dashboard, like whenever you're in Canvas, anywhere in Canvas, you will see the global navigation menu. So the global navigation menu is this. In my account, it appears as a black bar, black vertical bar on the left side of my far left side of my Canvas screen. For you, it might come as a navy blue or black bar, just like me. In here, the first item is the account feature. If you click on account, you can set your notifications, you can update and set your profile, your files, and most importantly, that I promise that I will go over is the global announcements. If I click on global announcements, I can easily access the announcements that I have dismissed from my dashboard. So there are two tabs. Under the current tabs are the most recent or current announcement, which has been announced through the institution. And as I mentioned, they are called the global announcements. And under the recent tab, you can basically access all announcements which has been released, which has been gone through the institution. And if I click all the way to the bottom of the screen, you can see that I have actually 9 pages of these announcements, and each page houses at least 4 to 5 announcements. So don't worry, you can dismiss your announcements from your dashboard, and you can always access your announcements from the account menu, which is located in from the account list link, which is located in the global navigation menu. The next item is obviously the dashboard. You can always go back to the dashboard by clicking on the dashboard link from your global navigation menu. The next item is courses. Courses houses all the courses that you are enrolled. I will go over the courses in a few minutes once I'm done introducing all tools or links which is available in the global navigation menu. The next item in the global navigation menu is the groups. Groups will list all the groups or organizations that you're enrolled in as a student, as faculty, as TA, or as the admin. So all the organizations, campus organizations that you're enrolled in will appear under the groups. The next item is the calendar. Calendar will house all the events and due dates that you have for your courses. For example, if you have 4 or 5 sections or courses that you will teach over the fall 23 semester, and if you have selected to if you have already created, or as you're creating your assignments and your quizzes, and you're creating due dates for your assignments, those due dates will appear in your calendar. If you select, like the courses that you select from the calendars, which is located on the right side of your screen, as you select your courses, those due dates and events that you have within these courses will appear in your calendar. And also, if you want, you can view your calendar as week, month, or as agenda, like all the events that you have in your calendar. And also, if you would like to create events, you can create on this plus button, which is located on the upper right corner of your screen, and you can create a Canvas event for yourself. The next item is the inbox item. Through the inbox, you can communicate with your students. This inbox is absolutely separate from your Outlook, um, from your email, campus email. However, if you enable the notifications from your account, you can get emails from your Canvas inbox to your campus inbox. And also, if you, under your account, if you want to add your personal email, feel free, you can do that, and then you can receive your notifications both in your campus email and in your personal email. Basically, all the emails that you have listed under your account and under the notifications in your account. As I mentioned earlier, you can through the inbox, you can send emails to your students, and compose a new message icon, which is located almost in the middle of your inbox screen on the upper middle. Then through this icon, you can compose and send emails to your students. Once I click on the compose a message icon, Canvas will take me to compose a message box, and in here I can select a course. For example, I want to send emails to the students in my sandbox, and in here under the two, if I click on in this little icon, I can send email to all the students, everyone who's enrolled in this course. If I select the all in the sandbox, so for example, for you it will be all in, for example, History 100 or something. Or I can send emails to individual students. For example, I want to just send an email to Mark and to Roger, for example. Then my email will be sent just to these students or just to one student. So it's absolutely up to you to how many students, or if you want to send to everybody in your course, to all students, for example. Then obviously the rest is pretty straightforward. You can type your subject and you can compose your email. Through the inbox, you have the option to attach documents, and also you have the option to record your message as an audio or video comment. Once you're done composing your email, or once you click send, then the email will be sent to the participants who have been selected under the two option. The next option is history. It's pretty handy. As you log in, once you log into Canvas, and as you navigate through the pages, to the different Canvas pages, Canvas will keep a record of those pages that you have visited recently. And through the history, you don't have to go through the menu and click, like for example, select on modules, then module 1 page, certain pages. You don't have to go through all those steps. You can just click on history, and you can click on the page that you have recently visited. So Canvas keeps a record of, I think, a few, like 10 or something, a few pages for you. Commons is pretty handy. It is a digital library full of educational content. So the Commons in Canvas allows users to share learning content with each other. These are some the first few content are the layouts that we have created in the Academic Technology Services. But if you click, you can see that you have access to the content which has been shared through the Canvas community. And you have the option to filter or to search for, like you can just search maybe for example, chemistry or mathematics or history, and content related to your search verbiage will appear, and you have the option to filter content. The next item is the My Media. My Media is the same as the media or media gallery in BeachBoard. So through My Media, you can, first of all, My Media obviously houses your Zoom recordings. As you know, your Zoom recordings do disappear and they get deleted from your Zoom account, but you don't have to worry. As they disappear from your Zoom account, they get transferred to your media, and you can access all your recordings, Zoom recordings, through My Media, and from here you can publish it to your desired course. And also you have the option of uploading your recorded videos, or you can link your YouTube or Vimeo videos to My Media, and from My Media you can publish it to your desired course. The last feature is the help feature. Through the help link and course and the global navigation menu, you can contact the virtual support. And also there are more, you can chat with the Canvas support. Students have the option to chat with the Canvas support. You have access to Canvas hotline, and there are some more help options. Also, in addition to help, we have the Canvas support feature. It's really handy. It's very useful. We have some really useful articles in here. You have the option to search for your desired tool, or you can just select your desired tool from the provided links and tabs in here, and you can just for your desired tool, you can find useful articles that the Canvas support and Canvas admin team has created. These articles are really useful. I do encourage you to use these tools as you're going through learning Canvas. As I promised, I would like to go over pinning, and let me click on dashboard in here. Actually, let me click on dashboard first. As you can see in my dashboard, I only have 4 courses listed, and I do encourage you to do that. Please clean your dashboard. If you do not clean and organize your dashboard, Canvas unfortunately would take the executive decision, and throughout the semester it will just randomly pick certain courses for you to appear in your dashboard. And we have had this issue before. That faculty have been in panic status, and they have called us, and I have received emails. Afifa, I cannot see my Canvas courses anymore. My Canvas courses has disappeared. How can I access them? They haven't disappeared. Please be relaxed. Your courses do not disappear. They have just disappeared from your dashboard because you haven't pinned those courses. So as you can see, as I mentioned, I have 4 courses on my dashboard. And I absolutely have like the absolute control over my dashboard. By clicking on courses, you can again, you can see once I click on my courses, again you can see that under the courses I only have 4 courses listed. But if I click on all courses, for you might not see your all courses, because as you click on your courses, a endless list of courses will appear in your courses. I would recommend to please scroll down until you hit the all courses link in your courses. Once you click, get to all courses and click on it, then you will get to your courses page. And here you will see a list of your migrated courses, your fall courses, your fall 22, spring 23 courses, which has been created for you, and you might have not even used those courses because you have selected to choose in BeachBoard, and that's the option that you had. As you can see, some of the courses, actually for all of my courses and for all Canvas courses, there are stars on which is located on the left side of each listed course. If the star is empty, it means the course is not pinned. But if the star is filled with the red ink, it means the course has been, I have pinned this course and I have favorited this course. So I do encourage you to please make sure to pin your course for your all the organizations that you will be using for fall and all your fall courses or the summer courses that you're teaching right now. Please pin those courses. Otherwise, as I mentioned, Canvas will take the executive decision and will pin those courses for you. For example, let me see. I would like to pin the Growing with Canvas course. If I pin this course, and if I go back to the courses, okay, let me go back to dashboard first. The Growing with Canvas course will appear. Now I have 5 courses in here. And also if I click on courses, the Growing with Canvas course will appear in my courses as well. So please make sure to pin your courses, and also in your dashboard, your courses will be categorized by published courses, unpublished courses, enrollment, past enrollment, and present enrollments are in the inside the all courses. So in here you can see that my courses, it will be the same for you, my past enrollments, future enrollments, and the groups that I'm enrolled in. I would like to mention that, okay, let me go to the, and as I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the session, we have different course types in Canvas because we have just switched from BeachBoard to Canvas. So your migrated BeachBoard migrated courses will appear in your dashboard and in your courses. And also you will see the courses which have been originally created in Canvas and how you can distinguish between those courses. So this is, for example, once you click on your courses, you will see 4 columns: the courses column, terms, enrolled as, and published. So the nickname is empty. You don't have to worry about this column. Under the courses, for example, if a course, let me first go over the migrated courses. In here I have grouped all the migrated courses within this red box. And here you see that first of all, under the term, the migrated courses will say BeachBoard migration. So if you're not sure if a course is a Canvas native course or if it's a migrated course, you can check the term, see what the term says. If it's under the term, if it says BeachBoard migrated, obviously it's a migrated course. Also, more clearly, all BeachBoard migrated course will appear with the year first. So first you will see the year, then the year will be followed by the term. So for example, 2021 fall, then it will be followed by the course abbreviation, the course number, section number, course call, which is the 4 or 5 digits, then the title of the full title of the course. And then you will see under the published column if it is published or not, and under the enrolled as, you will see if what is your enrollment status, if you're a teacher, a student, or an admin in the course. The next one, for example, the Canvas native courses, the courses which has originally been created in Canvas. I have housed them in this, I'm sorry, blue box. They will appear just as normal classes, like the naming convention that we had in BeachBoard. The naming convention is exactly the same in Canvas. So these courses will have the abbreviation followed by the number, the section, then it will be followed by the section number, and it would be followed by the course call and the course title. Again, if you want to make sure which term this course belongs to, you can check the term under the term column. These courses are fall 23 courses, so obviously it states fall 23. You're enrolled as teacher in this course, and the course is not published yet. And also, if the course is an organization, the course will not have any number and anything. It depends on what kind of organization it is. So you will see the title of the organization, and under the term, it will say if it's an organization. Okay. It's your turn. Let's have some hands-on activity. Please, I would encourage you to log into your Canvas if you haven't logged in yet. I would encourage you to please go ahead and dismiss some of your old announcements that has like stayed in your dashboard like for like a good semester or a few days. So please log into your Canvas and please enter your dashboard. And I would encourage you to go ahead and dismiss some of your announcements. Once you dismiss your announcements, I would encourage you to access the global announcements, which is located under your account. Please go ahead, do that. If you have any questions, feel free, raise your hand. Paul, either Paul or Joanna or I'm sorry, Angel or I, we will answer your question. If you can easily dismiss and access those announcements, you can just show your success with thumbs up or a happy face so we can see that yes, you have been successful. Once you do that, I would encourage you to explore your dashboard views, see the different views, the card view, the list view, and the recent feedback view. And also, once you do that, so basically we have 5 minutes for this hands-on activity. I would encourage you to go ahead, please favorite your courses, favorite your summer if you're teaching the summer, or if you're not teaching, please pin your fall courses and unpin the courses that you do not need to have in your dashboard. And and actually I missed one part. After this, then once we are done with this activity, I will go over the course navigation menu that I missed. Okay, it is 10:30. So I will get back to course navigation menu in 10:34. So you have a few minutes, feel free. I will just mute myself. If you have questions, please raise your hand. You have these like 4 minutes or so to do the test the first 3 items that we have in this your turn activity.
Yeah, thanks, Afifa. And I just want to answer a couple questions in the chat, starting with the most recent. So the group icon does only show up if you are involved or enrolled in any group. So it's not a default option. You shouldn't expect to see it. If it's missing, that's perfectly normal. Susan, you also asked a question about dismissing items. This is, I think, in reference to the global announcements on your dashboard. If you do see any global announcements that are kind of pushing your courses down, just dismiss those announcements as part of the activity here. And there's another question about changing the color of, like, if there is no image as part of your course. I know in BeachBoard you have like a banner. You can kind of, change the image that's available on your course. If there isn't an image, which there isn't by default, you're going to see that color. You could change the color, but you can also upload an image, which is actually something we'd recommend as part of like personalizing your course. We didn't go over that, but that would be in settings, maybe something we can review maybe a little later. But if there's any other questions, I see a hand raised.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Yes, Anna, go ahead and please unmute yourself.
Hi. I was following your directions regarding pinning the classes I'm interested in to show on the dashboard, and I clicked, and I couldn't find the button to pin them.
The pin, once you click on your courses, let me go back and show you how you can do that.
Thank you.
So once you click on your courses, you should please scroll down and click on all courses. Once you click on all courses, you will have this look.
Ah,
And on the left side of your course, there is a star.
got
This,
you.
if
Got
the
you.
star is empty, then the course is not pinned. Once you
Awesome. Let
click,
me try it.
yeah,
Thank
go ahead.
you.
No
Thank you.
problem. Okay, we have 1 more minute, and I will go over the
Hey, Fifa, did you just want to go over the customizing course navigation
not
now?
yet.
Like, no? Okay.
Yeah, I will go over that
Right.
now, then I will hand it to you. Okay. So in addition to the global navigation menu that I go over a few minutes ago, as you enter any of your Canvas courses, you will see that we have another menu as well in Canvas, which is the course navigation menu. So the global navigation menu is basically called the primary menu. The global navigation menu is not customizable, it's fixed. You cannot make changes to the global navigation menu. However, your course navigation menu is customizable and you can make changes according to the needs of your course. You can enable or disable certain features in your course navigation menu. The most common features which should be enabled, again, it's based on your need of your course, but the home feature should be enabled. Assignments, discussions, again, it's up to you. Grades should be enabled. The modules should be enabled for students because through the modules, students can access course content. Syllabus, it's up to you. Again, quizzes, it's up to you if you would like to enable these features, but certain features such as modules, grades, assignments, and home should be enabled in your course. And the way that you can customize your navigation menu is by clicking on the settings, which is located all the way in the bottom of your course navigation menu. If I click on settings, it will take me to the settings page. And here you have some more access. I would encourage you to, once you click on settings, please navigate and see the features which are available in here. There are some really useful tools for your course, for your grading scheme, for enabling certain features for your course. But for today's session, I would just go over the navigation. So in order to navigate your course navigation menu, please click on the navigations tab, which is located on the top of your settings page. Once I click in here, I can see that I have two tables basically. The first table, the top table, houses the links or the features which will be visible to students. So in here, you can see that I have home assignments, discussion, grade modules, and people's syllabus and quizzes. And you can see that these elements in the course doesn't have the disabled or the high I with a cross line in it. So these features are available to students and students can click on these features. However, the second table, which is the way linear table, houses all the tools which are available to us. However, these features are not enabled. In order to customize, for example, I do not want my students to have access to people feature. I will click on this three dots, which is located on the far right side of the people. If I click on these three dots, which is basically the options menu, and if I click on disable, then pupils will be disabled and students will not have access to this feature. The same, if you would like to enable certain features, for example, you're using the lockdown browser in your course, you can click on the three dots from the disabled items table. You can click on the three dots, which is again located on the far right side of the lockdown browser. And if I click on enable, then the lockdown browser will be moved to this table. And you can also drag and drop. So you don't have to, whichever is easier for you. And whenever you're making changes to your navigation, please make sure to scroll all the way down and save your changes. Or whenever you're making any changes in your settings, please scroll down, make sure to either click, you either have the save or to the update options. And that's how you can make changes to your navigation menu. Certain features, for example, files. I do encourage you to make the files disabled in your course, because files does not only house the files that you have uploaded, the PDFs, PowerPoints, videos, like the files that you have uploaded in your course. It also, in addition to the files that you uploaded, also houses all the system files. So please make sure to hide the file and just attach or add those features within those files within the modules. Then students will have access to those files. So by hiding the certain features, it doesn't mean that students will not have access to those features. For example, you might select to hide rubrics, but you can link those rubrics within your assignments, within your quizzes, or within your discussions. Okay. By going over the course navigations, I would conclude, and I will pass it over to Paul.
Thanks, Afifa. I think you're still screen sharing, maybe. Let me start doing the same. Okay. Okay, so I think that's coming through. Let's see, I think I'm at the beginning. Let me get to my slide, sorry. Okay, I should have been ready. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we just finished reviewing how to navigate within Canvas, and you've had the opportunity to manage and organize your dashboard. So we're now going to switch focus to building content within your courses. So as you know, content is the foundation of any course, and the way that your content is created can help facilitate student completion of assignments and even determine the pacing of your course. So the way that you build and communicate your content is going to be really important. And to get started with building in Canvas, we first need to look at what is called the rich content editor. Because in order to create any content, whether it's an announcement or assignment, you're going to need to become familiar with the toolbar known as the Rich Content Editor, or RCE. And that's because, with a few exceptions, the RCE is available in each of the Canvas tools that you'll be using as part of your course delivery. So put simply, the RCE is a powerful toolbar that helps you manage your content and provides access to all the functions and integrations that are unique to our campus. And before we can look at this toolbar in action, I just want to provide an overview of what it can do. And the first thing I want to mention is that RCE supports hypertext markup language, better known by its acronym HTML. I know that hearing HTML can sound a little intimidating, but all this means is that it supports any content publicly available on the internet. So if there's a lecture video on YouTube that you want to include as part of your assignment, the RCE allows you to search for and insert this video resource directly into the assignment. It could even be a podcast, a tweet, anything on the internet that you want to include. And supporting HTML is also what allows you to copy and paste a working website address so that it redirects anyone who selects a link. And this is what's called hyperlinking text. We're going to get into a few examples during the demo, and you'll see what this looks like and what it means. But just know that HTML is your friend. The RCE, you can also format your content and support accessibility standards. Here, for example, you can format text so that it's italicized. You can add alternative text for images. You can include table description for more context. And you can even make use of headers for text-based information. All of these things are really important because it's these practices that help create an inclusive learning environment, especially for those who process and navigate information differently. So you're trying to account for or accommodate those students who, again, process information in that way. The RCE also helps with inserting mixed media. So if you have any existing images or videos that you'd like to incorporate as part of your content, you could embed them into this tool, again, using this tool into any of the, maybe an assignment, a discussion, announcement. And again, this will be part of a demo in a moment. But the RCE allows you to manage, again, these materials. If they exist locally on your computer, you can then import them or upload them into your content. And if you don't have anything that already exists, say you want to record something, maybe a video, like a video note. And I think it's really important, especially for online courses or remote instruction, that your voice be heard in a course as much as possible anyway, because just personalizing your course that way really makes a difference with, the student kind of experience of your course. And it really helps personalize it, and it makes a difference for students who are maybe taking all of their courses online. So if you don't have anything that you already have ready to upload and make available, you can also record and create within the tool using the RCE. So it makes it really easy to do that. RCE also supports mathematical notations so that equations are displayed as intended and without any additional effort on your part. This also helps with accessibility, because if there's a screen reader or a student who relies on screen readers, the screen reader will read accurately the notations of the math equation that maybe you're providing as a problem set. So again, RCE is pretty robust in that way too. You can also create buttons or interactive buttons within the RCE tool. This helps make your information more interactive, because maybe you want your students to select the link, you want them to do something, make it actionable. The interactive buttons do help make that more visually obvious, and it's inviting a little bit. So there's just a couple of things, again, that you can create to make your content a little more interactive. And still, it does so much more. So RCE provides, again, access to your content, allows you to format content. But just to recap, the RCE manages every element of content that you're creating, from uploading to embedding and formatting to accessibility. And like I mentioned at the beginning, the RCE editor is available in each of the tools that we're going to review today. And we're now going to look at 3 tools that you're very likely going to be using and you'll be interested in creating. So the first tool I want to talk about is announcements. Using the announcements tool helps create focused attention to whatever content you want to spotlight for your students. So for example, a welcome message. Here you introduce students to your course. I think it's really important to kind of set the expectations this way by having or creating a welcome message. Again, you can provide getting started instructions so that they know exactly what they're doing immediately upon accessing your course. And again, this is just an opportunity to help set expectations. You can also provide weekly content updates. This can help communicate to students any recent changes to assignments, instructions, or maybe the release of a pop quiz. There's some instructors I work with who use it in this way. They'll communicate a pop quiz has been made available. And so announcements is a great way to do something like that. You can also communicate upcoming deadlines, of course. So this helps students stay on track for what's due within your course. Sometimes a little gentle reminder, and so announcements can help you make that communication and, again, help facilitate the completion of the assignment. But you can also just celebrate the project completion, where you acknowledge a significant milestone, or maybe even provide assignment feedback as a whole to the classroom. You can use the announcement tool just to kind of mention what's up to you and maybe some weaknesses, or just kind of classroom feedback. So you're taking that opportunity to address the class as a whole. Or you can also just have like a community event flyer, like say if there's a campus resource or an organization or a local event, something that's happening, and there's a document that you want to provide as part of your announcement. You can insert that as well, just to make it easily accessible. And so you get the point. These are just the kinds of things that you can communicate using the announcements tool. And I think, the point here is that as instructors, it's more important than ever that the appropriate tool, that you're using the appropriate tool to help things keep moving and help students stay informed. And in a moment, we're also going to create our own welcome message. But before we do that, let's look at the next tool, and that's going to be assignments. So the assignments tool in Canvas is where you're going to find any item that helps contribute to your student's grade, and would also include quizzes and discussions. But for our purpose today, we're going to be looking at what would be the equivalent of a Dropbox type assignment. However, unlike a Dropbox assignment in BeachBoard, A Canvas assignment goes beyond simply submitting a file, and there are several options available to you. And this will help determine how you expect students to interact with and complete the learning task. So when you're creating an assignment, the first option from a drop-down menu, and something we're going to look at in a moment, the first option is a no submission assignment, which is exactly as it sounds like. Students are not required to submit anything to get a grade. For example, this can be a verbal presentation that they deliver in class. And so it's an observation. There's nothing to submit. So you'd have a no submission assignment, so you can still grade them in that way. The second option is online submissions, or it just reads online. And this provides the most options. And the option that you choose will depend on how you'd like students to perform the learning task. So for this online assignment, you have the options to include a text entry. This is a good option for journal entries where students are asked to reflect on your content. Maybe there's a prompt that you're providing and they can simply write it up within the assignment. They don't have to upload anything. That makes it really easy for them to just get into the activity. There's also a website URL where students can paste the address to a website or a resource. Maybe this is their portfolio or a site resource that you've asked them to share, and so they're going to provide that as an address. There's also the student annotation option where each student has access to the same file that you want them to look at, and it's their responsibility to mark it up. So maybe there's some text that they can add, or there's some markings that they can make. There's a couple of tools available to students in annotating. So if there's a document that you want them to annotate, there is this option. So you simply, again, check the box for that kind of assignment type. And lastly, there is the for online submissions, there is file uploads. And here is where students would need to upload a document. So this would be, again, a Dropbox equivalent of an assignment. And here you can also determine the kinds of files that you're willing to accept. So if you only want to see a Word document or a PDF, you can stipulate that so that the assignment will not accept anything else. So I think that will help minimize some of the headaches or some confusion that students have, especially for Apple computers. I think sometimes they have pages and they'll submit a format that maybe you don't have access to. So if you don't want to see those kinds of things, you can even restrict, again, the file type that they can submit. And moving beyond online submissions, there's also on paper, which is identical to no submissions because they're not submitting anything, but it's required that they submit something on paper, as the name implies. So you would just have to explicitly make that clear to students that this is a physical submission, not an online submission. So that's really the only difference. No submission requires no submission. On paper just means they're submitting something, but not online, just physically. And then lastly, we have external tools as an option. And so here you can create assignments based on the available integrations within our Canvas environment. Here, for example, you can incorporate LinkedIn learning activities as part of your instructional delivery. There's also perusal, social learning reading activities, or a Kaltura video quiz. There are a lot of options available here under the external tools. So I would suggest taking some time to explore these options just to see what's available. But again, this is a beginner workshop, so some of the things we're covering are just kind of the surface level, and we do have other presentations where we'll kind of go more in depth into these options. But in a moment, we're also going to be creating an assignment together where we'll review these options, and we'll see kind of the interface of it all. But next, we're going to look at the last tool, and that's called modules. So within modules, this tool is what helps bring everything together. So you can think of modules as like a picnic basket, because that's the tool that holds all the items that we were going to be creating today. So this is more of an organizing tool than anything. And it's used to bring, again, all the things we create into one place. And faculty generally use this for creating a learning path, or maybe like a weekly or a unit kind of a module. So you can help kind of sequence things that way for students so that they kind of know the flow of your course. And you can think of it again as guiding students through your course content in this way. And again, as we already know, we can cross-link to other course areas as I've mentioned. So you can include assignments, pages, discussions, quizzes, anything that kind of is a standalone thing in Canvas, you can then bring into the module. So again, it just kind of brings it all together, makes it comprehensive, and students know, what they're doing, depending on what, where in the semester we are. And modules would also be the equivalent of what is called content in BeachBoard. So if you recall content, that's where you'd find modules and submodules. Canvas doesn't support submodules though, so that's one difference. And again, that's something we're going to look at in a moment. But these are the 3 tools that I think we want to cover today as part of our summer bootcamp. And so I'm going to change screens here so we can take a look at what it means to create an assignment. First an announcement, then an assignment, and then a module. So in that order. I'm going to switch screens here in a moment. Let me go to my sandbox course. And so in my sandbox course, I've set up this course, what I'm calling Media Literacy 101. That's just my course title. And as you can see, there's a couple things here. And this is what's called a home page, but it's a page as a front page. That's kind of a distinct thing too as a home page. But we're going to look at announcements, right? So one of the first things I want to mention is that you can have announcements available on your homepage. Whatever homepage you have, your announcements can show up at the top of your homepage. That's something we can review a little later, but you do that in settings and then you'd enable it so that your announcements show up at the top of your homepage. That's a really convenient way. So again, that students know what's going on throughout the semester. So if you do find yourself making announcements on a weekly basis, which strongly encouraged, you'd want to have them at the top of your homepage in this way. So again, it's kind of prominent and visible. So again, creating high visibility for this information. So I'm going to click on the announcements here on the left-hand side, and I have that open already. And so these are the announcements. This is the announcements view. I have a couple announcements already created. And so if you wanted to create a new announcement, for example, you'd click on the plus announcement button on the upper right-hand corner, and that's going to bring in the ability to create new content. And you'll see the RCE, the rich content editor, as I've mentioned. But I already have an announcement, so I'm going to open that instead. I'm going to open up the welcome to my class announcement, which I have open here. So I have a couple placeholders, and this is just going to serve as an example of the kinds of things you can do using the rich content editor. So this announcement, again, is a welcome message, something I think most of you already sent to students just to help onboard them. And so I'm going to edit this announcement. Okay, and the first thing I want to point out when this loads is the rich content editor. So as I mentioned, the rich content editor is what allows you to create and format your content, bring in, and just, manage what we're looking at. So the rich content editor would be these options, right? So it's edit, file, or edit, view, insert, format, tools, table, as well as all of these tools. Depending on your screen size, you might have to click on the 3 dots, which will expand to reveal the rest of the options. These are all the tools that are available. So there are a lot of options. And I'll review a couple of these things now. So in this announcement, for example, I think I've mentioned using accessibility standards. I think those are best practices, obviously, for students to not only visually see how things are different, but if they rely on screen readers, this would help them navigate your information much more easily. So this, for example, this first line, rather than it being a paragraph, I know there's a tendency to maybe just increase the file size of something like this to like 24. You're like, oh, perfect, this is now a header. And technically it's not, right? Because we're not using the appropriate tool to do that. So I'm going to undo that. And rather than just increasing file, and you're welcome to do these things, of course, but I think more importantly, though, just to again, help accessibility standards, you click on the paragraph and then you'd select heading 2. That also changes the look of it, but it's now tagged correctly. So now it has accessibility standards so that they know this is a heading level 2. So that's just a little practice there. As part of a welcome message, maybe you include a picture or a video that you've recorded to help introduce students to your course, and you kind of verbally go through an orientation of your course. Like, these are the tools that I'm going to be using throughout the semester. Or again, if you just want to insert a picture, I'm going to do that right now as part of this exercise. So I'm going to select insert. There's image, and there's upload image. And so again, the insert option here at the top. And then this window comes up allowing us to select, where this image lives. This is going to be available on my computer. So I'm going to click on the rocket here, and this will look for an image, and I'm going to select this really cute dog picture. And it gives you a preview of what that looks like. And you can even provide alternative text if you wanted to. I mean, if it communicates anything, sometimes it's just decorative, right? This in particular doesn't communicate anything that's relevant to the content. Maybe if it is a self-portrait of yourself, though, you could say, self-portrait of, your name. But I'm going to make decorative because, again, it doesn't communicate anything. It's just intended to add some visual kind of look to it. But again, if it is a portrait that you're adding, which I imagine, or I would recommend that you do, then you can add an alternative text here. So it does support these things, right? So again, this is all through the rich content editor. And I'm going to submit this picture, and it'll insert that image in a moment. Well, it should have anyway. Let me try that again. I'm going to insert. And I think it just might take a second. I know that'll happen sometimes. I think depending on the quality of the image too, that's something you want to be mindful of as well, because if the image is a high quality image, if someone has a slow internet connection, for example, they don't have like fast bandwidth, it'll take longer for your page to load. So just something to be mindful of in terms of image quality. Because sure enough, this is just a really large picture and not what I wanted to. I thought I resized this picture so that this wouldn't happen. But if this does happen, you can, there's some 4 corners that become available. I'm going to scale this down significantly. And so here we go. Now we have this picture showing up. Okay, so that's again how you would insert an image. And again, if you wanted to even record something, again, maybe as part of personalizing your course, if you want to record your voice or video, you would do that also by selecting the record button. It's going to be here. And you can select upload record media. It's the first option. And when you do that, you're going to select the record tab. And here you're just going to allow. You need to give permission to the browser to have access to your camera and microphone. So I'm going to select allow. And then in doing that, right now, I think this is just audio. And if I wanted to turn on my webcam, I'd select that. We should see a preview of this webcam, I think. I need to move something. Oh, did I? Well, let's start recording just to see if it comes up. I think this is only doing video or audio. Yeah, it's only doing audio. I'm not sure why. I'm going to start over. This should also detect the webcam. Maybe it's because I'm in the session. It technically should recognize it either way. But the point is, yeah, I think you see what I'm getting at. You can record an audio message really quickly within Canvas. You don't have to have it preloaded. And you can also, if you're not already using your camera, record your camera too. But we're not going to do that right now. I'm just going to go ahead and click close. Just wanted to show you what that looks like. Also, as part of your welcome message, here, maybe you're communicating certain expectations, that this is a face-to-face class or whatever the modality, the days and the times, and then maybe letting them know that there are some things they need to do the first week of instruction. So you could say that they need to complete the syllabus quiz. And so if you wanted to link directly to the syllabus quiz, which is something I'd recommend doing, just as, again, to make it easy to facilitate completion of an assignment, you would select the text that you want to hyperlink. So I've highlighted syllabus quiz. I'm going to click on this course link icon, select course link. And you can see this panel come up on the right-hand side. I'm going to expand on quizzes because that's the type of assignment I want them to look at. And this will load all the quizzes that exist in your course. And I'm going to select my syllabus quiz required option. And so there we go. Now this is hyperlinked as part of the announcement. So again, very easy, quickly and easily making it possible for students to select it and begin taking the quiz. There's also an introduction post that maybe you have as part of week 1. I think this will be helpful again for students to get to know each other, especially in a remote course if they're teaching or if you're teaching a course online. I would just kind of collapse quizzes because it's not a quiz that I'm looking for. I'm looking for a discussion. I would expand on discussions, and then again you're going to see all of your existing discussions that are available. And I'm going to select the week 1 discussion introductions. And so again, quickly making it available for students. And here, I'm also mentioning that the syllabus, along with additional information, can be found in the module. So the module has been created. I'm going to get to that a little later during the demo. But let's say you want to create a button so that students have access to this module, which contains all these activities. So we're kind of nesting things, and we're trying to make relationships for students so that they know where to find things in your course. So I'm going to delete that placeholder text. And if you did want to create a button, again, buttons do help create more engagement because it communicates to students that I want you to do something. I want you to click on this button. You would click on this icon maker. It's available again within the RCE, and you would create the icon. So you would select create icon. The side panel comes up again. You can select from an image library that's available. It can be at the bottom. You'd have to select. You can even upload your own image if you want to, but I would recommend sticking with what's available as a default. So if you want to look for maybe a multicolor image, you want to have some visual or some color to it, you would select maybe this book here. This is what we want to communicate as it being the module. I'm going to select the book. And then you can define certain parameters, whether the size, the color. There's a couple of settings here that we can review. I have already created something, so I'm going to hit cancel instead. And so again, you have all the ability to customize and modify these things. I'm going to insert a saved icon because you can also save them. So once you've created them once, it's maybe the most time-consuming thing. You create it initially, and then you can repurpose it over and over again throughout your different courses that you have. So I'm going to select this first week 1 content and activities button that I've created. And so I'm going to I've inserted that. I've called it week 1 content and activities. I've chosen this image and the black and white image to make it really easy for students. And when they hover over it, their cursor will obviously be like clickable. They see they can interact with this. And again, you just want to be explicit sometimes with like, this can be found here by below, and they know to click on it. So sometimes that helps nudge students in that direction. And as part of announcements, you can also have them reply to announcements. I think this is something I'm starting to recommend for faculty because I've seen faculty use it in this way, and I think it's really helpful. Because if you've tried at all at any point to have a discussion where students ask questions like a student lounge, a lot of faculty, some of the feedback I've gotten anyway is that those aren't successful. Students aren't going to these spaces to ask questions. They're either on the Discord channel or just doing their own thing. They're not going to this space that you've created for this purpose. So rather than create a discussion board, which is like separate from the content that you're communicating, I'd recommend that you allow them to reply to your announcements. Because then if there is any questions that they have, they can reply to the announcement. And then ask a question there, and then you can address it. And so again, it's kind of within the context in which something you're sharing. So yeah, again, just an overview of, and these are just some of the settings now that I'm reviewing as part of the announcement. So this announcement that I'm creating, I'm also delaying the posting. So I'm going to say, this is going to be available today. And I'm going to change this to 10 a.m. And I'm going to allow users to comment. They must post. They can even comment before seeing other comments if you want to do that. I don't think that's necessary, but there's just a couple of things that you can also enable. Even liking, if you want to enable liking. Sometimes some instructors will, say, use the thumbs up or like the comment that you agree with most or something like that. So again, you're kind of creating more engagement even with things that other people are sharing. So just the setting there. I'm going to hit publish for this announcement. I think it looks good. And after publishing, it has that content that we've added. So the picture, the links, if we recorded anything that'd be available, the button here. So it looks, yeah, I think this is a getting started message for students. And if I now go back to my homepage, like I mentioned, recent announcements, you can have them so they show up here and you'll see what that looks like. Go back to home. And so there it is. This first announcement shows up now. And if students did want to reply, and they wouldn't see the reply, you'd only see like 3 replies, 2 replies, however many replies there are, it wouldn't show the reply. You'd have to click on it to then see the reply. Hopefully that was clear in terms of how to create an announcement and how the RCE tool can help you, again, manage content. So that was the example of the announcement. We're now going to move over to creating an assignment. Like I mentioned, assignments is going to include anything that is a part of a student grade. So there's a couple of icons that you're looking at here. This is quiz, that's a discussion, that's like a student file upload submission. And so these things would all live within assignments, but we're going to go ahead and create an assignment so we can review these settings together. And I've clicked on and already have the little template here. And as part of this media literacy course, there's this activity. Say the first assignment is a study on media and the truth. And there was this example that I thought of about, the McDonald's coffee lawsuit. I think there was just a lot of things that, people got wrong here. And so media had a big role in that. And so let's say that's part of the assignment, and there are some instructions that I want to provide. So there's a prompt, maybe there's a focus that you want to have students look at when you're creating this assignment. So if maybe there's a Word document or a PDF that you already have as a reference, that provides these instructions, you would highlight that text. You can insert the document. You can upload the document if it's, again, available on your computer already. And in this case, I already have my course document. It's something I've already uploaded in my course before. So I'm going to review my own course documents here. And when I do that, the side panel again comes up. You're going to see the different kinds of files that are supported within a course and that you can insert here. And when this loads, I might have to refresh maybe. Let me do that. Okay, let me copy. Well, okay, I'm going to lose some of these things, but whatever. Okay, I'm going to refresh. And oh, okay. All right. Would you like to? Yeah, let's load what there was an autosave function, which is great. Means I didn't have to lose anything, just the title, but that's okay because I did copy it. So I've just pasted that again. And so I'm going to try this one more time. I'm going to insert a file, document, course documents. And there we go. So if there are any documents that are in your course, whether it's a PDF, whether it's a Word document, whether it's a PowerPoint, you can keep scrolling. You'll see the different kinds of instructions, as part of the file. So for this purpose, I'm going to select this a PDF document. I'm going to close this side panel. And one other thing I'm going to recommend here, because some of the faculty I've worked with rely on external attachments, like a Word document, a PDF, usually PDF. What you could do, and something I recommend doing anyway, is that you click on link options. And rather than have the default in overlay, I would recommend that you preview inline and then expand preview by default. And you'll see what that means in a moment, but I'm going to hit done just for now. And as part of your instructions, maybe you want to include that video, right? There's a video resource that students can watch and reflect on. So let's insert that. Maybe there's a YouTube video, right? So I'm going to select this little plugin, which is part of our external tools that our Canvas supports. So there are a couple of video integrations, and generally the Kaltura is where all of your video storage, or all your videos get stored anyway, especially Zoom. If you're recording your Zoom, all of these things are going to be made available in Kaltura. But for this example, you can also add YouTube videos to Kaltura. So I just wanted to show you what's possible again with the RCE. So I'm going to go with YouTube as an option. And let's say I want to find that report on the McDonald's hot coffee. So when the search bar comes up, it allows you to search for, again, any videos publicly available. McDonald's hot coffee. I'm going to hit search. And this is the report. I think it's from Retro Report. Yeah, Retro Report is the one I'm looking for. So I'm going to embed this video, this YouTube video. And there we go. So again, this is now a part of the assignment, so that students within the assignment not only have access to the instructions, but also have access to the video that they're supposed to watch and then reflect on as part of their submission. So again, this is the RCE kind of pulls in all of these things in one place. So this is, again, really convenient when you're creating an assignment. And just to review some of the settings, as I've mentioned, there's a couple of submission types. So here are pretty standard points and the group that you can create or that you want to have it be a part of, and then display as points. You can even not count towards the final grade if you just want to have it to be like a knowledge check exercise. It's just more for their own reference. And that's also, I think, something really important just for the their own learning so they can check in that way. But just to review the submission types, as I've mentioned, there's a few here. There's no submission, again, nothing required. Maybe it's a verbal presentation. There's online, on paper, and external tool. But we're going to look at online because this is what we're focusing on. So within the online, there are a couple different checkboxes. You can even have them all checked if you want, right? It doesn't have to be one only, but there might be some additional steps if you need them to annotate something, for student annotation, for example. But I'm going to uncheck that one because that's not necessary here. Media recording, maybe you want them to record their voice if that's part of the activity too. You just want to hear them talk about it. You'd maybe leave media recordings available. Maybe website URL isn't necessary, and text entry, maybe that's available too. So these are just some of the considerations you can make. Or if you only want to see, again, a file upload, you leave file upload and then restrict the file type. So then this way, this assignment only accepts DOC, DOCX, and PDF. Again, making it clear that this is the only acceptable format for this assignment. And there are a couple of other options. So this with respect to attempts, and there's even plagiarism review. I think there's an originality report that maybe you're interested in generating so that you could see that there's original work. And a really interesting thing too, as part of this Turnitin, which is now available, it's not explicit, but Turnitin is now looking for AI, ChatGPT kind of stuff. So if students are relying on this stuff and they're just copying and pasting, Turnitin now looks for these AI generated content. Again, it's not explicit, but it is now, I think, still in testing, but our campus is a part of this testing. So if you're interested in keeping students, and you can just communicate that to them too so that they know. But anyway, so that this enabling Turnitin would allow you to check for that kind of content. And you can allow them to see the report or not. But yeah, this is just, again, creating an assignment, just an overview stuff. So let's say this looks good. We have what we need. I'm going to hit save. And you want to save and publish it, obviously, too. You want to publish the assignment. But like I mentioned, when you insert a document or a file, and actually, I think I did this. Okay, there it is. Yeah, it just took a second. But when I mentioned that you want to select the link and then have it preview inline, this is what I mean. It previews a document so that they don't have to download it to see the instructions. It previews it, as a wrapper within the assignment. So whatever content is here in terms of instructions, the prompt, whatever it is they're expected to do, by previewing inline, it shows up. So they see exactly what's necessary. They don't have to download things. Again, super convenient for students who are teaching remotely, have low bandwidth, slow internet connections. So just these are things that help, again, facilitate the completion of the assignment. So this is what it looks like. And then underneath the video, they can play. And then once they're ready, they can make their submission by making the upload, the file upload, which we've selected for this assignment. And it tells them too, it only accepts these formats. So again, it's pretty clear for students on what to do. And okay, and then the last thing, just to bring everything together, I think we've talked about creating an announcement and then an assignment. And so now lastly, in modules, this is where you bring everything together, right? So I've said week 1 is where you can find things, all these, the syllabus quiz, maybe an intro discussion. And the last thing I've created right now was that week 1 assignment, right, on media and the truth. So it's not here yet, right? So this is under week 1 to do, and I'm making use of headers too. Headers is a great way to visually communicate to students that this is part of a synchronous session together. This is our asynchronous session together, depending on the modality of your course. And then just make it really easy that these are our readings, these are to do. So again, you can communicate using headers that way. And what I'm going to do now as part of this module to help finish it up, I'm going to add the assignment we just created. And that's the McDonald's week 1. And I have to refresh, I think. I don't see it here. Strange. Yeah, let me refresh. Okay. I'm going to try that one more time. Click on the plus. I'm going to select assignment because we're adding an assignment, but you can add anything, right? So it's a quiz, a file, a page, a discussion, a header, a URL, something external, or even an external tool like LinkedIn. So again, there's a lot you can add here. You can really customize it, but we're going to stay with assignment. And then we're going to look for, and there it is, week number 1, McDonald's coffee lawsuit. So we're going to add this item, and anytime you add this way, it always adds it to the bottom. And so there it is, the last item. And then this isn't published either, right? So I'd have to publish it here, which I can do that by clicking the little icon there, and that makes it available. And then as you noticed, I've made use of the indent. It kind of communicates to students that there's a structure, there's a nesting structure that I want you to follow. And so I'm going to follow, I'm going to continue in that practice by indenting. I'm going to increase the indent. And sorry, let me scroll down a little. I'm going to increase the indent one more time. Increase indent. And there we go. So now it kind of stays in line with, again, all the things you're supposed to do in the module. And so this is a module. So now we've put everything together, and this is a complete week 1 content. So readings, quizzes, discussions, assignments. I mean, all these things can be brought into a module. So hopefully this was helpful to see come together. And then lastly, not last but not least, let's say your course is done, right? The semester is concluded, the fall semester done, and we're moving into spring now, and you want to just leverage all this content you've created. So this is where the course copy comes into play. So as part of my homepage, I'm going to go back home to my sandbox. And on the right-hand side, there's an import existing content option. So you'd select that first option. And from here, you're going to see the ability to import content type. There's a lot of options here. As you can see, I've imported quite a bit already too. But you'd click on the drop-down menu, select the first one, copy a Canvas course. And then you're going to search for the name that you'd like to copy from. Technically, you'd be in the course that's empty, right? So if the fall semester ended, the spring semester is coming around, you'd go into the spring version of that course. And then within the spring version, which would be empty, you would then find your sandbox. So I'm going to search for my last name. I think that should, there it is. It comes up. You have to, maybe know what you're looking for. And with that respect, maybe there's a course number that you can use. And so it'll help filter it out. And it actually is pretty convenient too. When you click on search for a course, my admin account doesn't do this, but if your instructor account does, when you click on search for a course, it gives you the header, whether it's like the fall session, the summer session. It makes it really easy for you to find what you're looking for. So you would select the course and then import all content. And this option might seem helpful, adjust events and due dates, but I wouldn't recommend it anyway. So leave that unchecked and then import, and then it copies over everything that you've created in that sandbox into your empty course, and then you're good to go. You might just have to update some things, and those are just things you have to do semester after semester anyway. But that's the course copy process. I just wanted to review that as well. And I know that was a lot, but now we're going to move over to, again, the Your Turn activity or portion of this. So I've just went through a demonstration about building an announcement, an assignment, and a module, and the course copy. But I'd like you now to do the same. So I'd like you to maybe create an announcement or an assignment with different kind of assignment types or conditions. You can also practice inserting pictures, hyperlinks, creating buttons, inserting documents, recording audio, video, and organizing modules. So I know that's a lot, and I see there's a lot of comments in the chat. So if there's any questions, now would be the time. So I will stop talking.